Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to cover an absolute banger trade that we caught on Thursday. This is a bit late. Obviously, it's Friday at the time of this recording. I don't know how these other YouTubers make videos like this after every trade. Like, I just don't find the time. But here I am. I'm making the video for you guys, and hopefully you guys learn a thing or two. Okay. Yeah, I won't keep you guys too long, but let's just start off with the 4 hour. Okay, that's where I want to show you the higher time frame order flow. Okay, now obviously we're in a massive consolidation. You can see if we open up the daily chart, you can see that we're just consolidating within this range. So you can see this low, this high, and we haven't broken that. Okay, so we're just in this range. So order flow on the higher time frame, more on the 4 hour, you can see is slightly bullish, more bullish. So you can see came up here, we have a low, a high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, and obviously with the benefit of hindsight after the trade, you can see we put in another high, probably going to come low like this. Okay, but you can just see that price is bullish, so I'm not looking for any shorts. And as you can see on, let's go the daily, then why not? You can see on the daily we do have these equal highs. So you can see within this gap here, you can see a high here and a high here, and this is our equal highs. Okay, now this acts as a drawn liquidity, and this is also previous month high. So this is definitely a strong point of liquidity. Okay, now look what happened here. So we have obviously on the higher time frame. If you've seen my other videos, why I'm bullish on the monthly, you can see we have swept this low on the YM. Okay, and also we have a bunch of SMT here with ES. Okay, now look what happened here. So why are we not going down further? Because we tapped into this 2 to 2.5 area. Okay, now price came back lower, and look what we failed to do. We failed to close below this low. Okay, which means it's a failure change in state. If we had closed down here, okay, well then we would look bearish, and then we can take trades into these key levels here. But we failed to change in the state right there, and you can see we started to be bullish overall. Okay. Okay, so this is key. This is key right here. So you can see this 4 hour gap right here. We tapped into that on Wednesday, and then we had a bullish reaction off of that. And now coming into Thursday, you can see I have labeled out this order block right here, and there's also this 4 hour gap right here. Now, why is that important? Now let's go on Thursday. So this is that 4 hour gap. Now obviously it does look like we are closing below it, but if you open up the 4 hour chart, the 4 hour time frame, you can actually see that we have just wicked below it and we still closed above it. Okay, now this is actually very key because this is a key time for us. Let's go back here. Now this is on the 15-minute time frame. Now we're looking at our daily profile to formulate a trade. Now what I'm looking or expecting for today, and obviously hindsight, we're looking for a London protraction. Now this is the midnight opening right here. This is true day open, but this is actually the start of the Thursday daily candle. Okay, so at the start of midnight, London between 2 to 5 put in low of day. Now what we're looking for price to do between 2 to 5 is this, which we'll open up right now. So obviously expecting a bullish day, I'm looking for this classic London protraction daily profile. So you can see between 2 to 5, we're looking for price to tap into our, in our case, a discount IRL. Discount IRL because we're bullish, not bearish. So a discount IRL with SMT between 2 to 5, and then a displacement with a change state lower, which marks our low of day being put in, and then we trade into an ERL target post 10 to 12. Okay. Now what happens is 2 to 5, we put in our low. It's exactly at 4 o'clock, 4:15. Okay. Now what happens is is this in discount? No, it's not. Okay. You can see this is discount below this 0.5 level. This gap, this 15-minute gap here would be in discount. But what happens is ES taps into this 15-minute gap. So you can see that's why I've marked out this SMT. So we have SMT within this gap, but ES touching this gap in discount. So this is our bullish SMT. Okay. And then if you see ever so slightly, we do get a change in the state. So this is our last. So this is the last down close candle, like the series of down close candles, after this bullish candle. So this is actually this candle here closed bullish, and then this is our last down close candle. And as soon as we close above it, this is our change in the state delivery. Now you can actually see how price taps back into that perfectly. So this is actually just a 4 hour order block as well. And yeah, so this marks the low of day for me. Now coming into New York, you'll see exactly what I was looking for. So we also got that 15-minute change in the state right here. You can see as soon as we closed above that, we came to retest it. Okay, beautiful. And we also retested that 5-minute. There's a 5-minute change in the state right here actually as well. If I mark that up, 5-minute change in the state, and you can see how price respected that. Okay, we tap back into that. Okay, and now this was the trade I took just in here. Looks a bit messy, but I can show you exactly the trade I took in there. Okay, now obviously low of day has been put in. Now look what happens here. So we have a low, high, high, low, low. Okay, now if we close above this range here, this is our breaker. So we have a breaker block right here. You can see how price comes in at 8:30 with news. News comes and sweeps this low, total sweep below, manipulates lower, and then expands higher. Okay, we expand higher, and our target is higher for the day. Then we start to consolidate on the 15, so a bit more clearly on the 5-minute. You can see that we actually, look at this consolidation. This is our time distortion, waiting for 9:30 volatility to come into play. Okay, now you can see I did take a trade. I'll show you my executions. I did take a trade prior to 9:30 right here. Let's actually hop on it. So you can see here, I did take a trade prior to 9:30, so you can see it was a loss. Then I did take a win, but that loss you can see right here. Now at 9:30, you can see we're forming low resistance liquidity. So I was skeptical of entering this trade. So you can see as soon as I entered it, see these equal lows, and I did expect price to come and sweep that and actually properly tap into this 5-minute gap right here. You can see on the 5-minute BISI and this 15-minute breaker. We just slightly tapped into it, but I want to see a nice clean tap like this. You can see how clean that was. But there was equal lows right here. So I was a bit hesitant, but we got that change in the state. Okay, and I took that trade, targeting a 2R. Okay, 2R. Look what happens. Time distortion. Price is waiting for 9:30 to come in. Look at this. 9:30 comes into play. Bang. Straight to my TP. Okay. So this was a bit unfortunate. I did get stopped out right here by like a tick or two, and the trade did play out. Okay, but not to worry because we did catch this win. But this is what happens when you pattern trade your model. Okay, so you can see that this buy side right here, which was I think London highs, or not London highs. Yeah, London high was right here, but just before midnight, Asia highs, we formed this high. Okay, now that's a key buy side. Look what happens. Price at I need to zoom in a bit. Price at 9:30 comes in and sweeps that high. Okay, so price comes in, sweeps that high, and now we have SMT. ES is below this buy side target. So now we have our sell model. Why? Because you can see that buy side's been swept, SMT, and then we get our change in the state of delivery right here. As soon as price closed below here, our change in the state, you can enter and then look for target these lows or something. But this is why it's important to not pattern trade these and look at the higher time frame, because the higher time frame is clearly bullish. And as soon as I saw this dump here, I immediately looked for a long. Okay, so you can see actually here, look exactly where I longed. But I was looking for a long into this 15-minute gap. So you can see we formed low resistance. Now just picture this before price even formed. Okay, so you can see, look at these low resistance. A low here, a low here, a low, low, low. Now none of these lows were swept by the ladder low. Okay, so you can see a low here. This one was not swept. Didn't sweep it. This didn't sweep that. This didn't sweep that. This didn't sweep that. Okay, nothing swept each other, which is our low resistance. Now I'm looking for price to come take that into our 15-minute breaker and this 5-minute gap. Okay, you can see this 5-minute gap right here. Look, there's a massive gap right there, actually. And there's also a 15-minute BISI too. So we have 5-minute and a 15-minute, okay? And then we also have a 15-minute breaker right here. So this is a very good target for price to retrace into and then look for longs. So on the 1-minute, you can see exactly that. As soon as price came lower, I didn't expect it to do what it did, okay? We came in lower and immediately I looked for a trade after I saw this reaction. So you can see the next candle, this candle, when it tapped back just right below here, I took an entry. So you can see this is my entry right here. Okay, now let's remove this replay. But yeah, that was the trade entry. Okay, now I can show you how the trade played out. So you can see into this 5-minute gap, and then we started to have a really good reaction out of it. Okay, now we're forming a BISI, which is a good good sign. Okay, now we came back lower into it, respecting it, and we tapped this 1 minute order block right here as well. Okay, and also respecting this, and then we got an inverse fair value gap right here. So you can see this low, this wick high, low there, and this wick high created a fair value gap, and we invested. That is when I entered another contract. Okay, so you can see here initially 4 contracts here, and then another one right here after we invested, and then yeah, the trade played really well. I took break even right here, and then as soon as we invest this, I also did take a TP1 here at 2R, because normally my trades are taken off at 2R, but I wanted to see this high get taken, and also previous week high up here. But you can see full TP just at this high. Okay, so that was the trade. Now, also important to note, why didn't this keep dumping? And if you have to expand onto a higher time frame to see this, you can see on the 5 minute, look what happened. So 5 minute, we fell into this. Let's take away this 15-minute gap actually. You can see in this 5 minute gap, we swept this low. Look how we closed. We closed bullishly. Now, even on the 15-minute, you can see it as well. On the 15-minute, you can see we tapped into the 15-minute gap right here, point of interest, and we look how we closed here. Tapped into it and we closed above. So price was, I was never looking for shorts today, even though a lot of people would have got tricked out on shorts here. I immediately took that as an opportunity to take longs, and this was also in our 950 macro, as you can see. So overall, very clean day and very good execution, and I'm proud to put this on YouTube. So hope you guys learned a thing or two. Until next time, catch you guys.
Okay, just a cheeky little announcement. If you guys want the same Notion template I've been using in my videos and you probably saw in this video, just click the link in the description and you'll see a page like this, and then you can buy it. But guys, don't forget to use code VISION20 for 20% off. Okay, thank you guys. See you next time.